Okay, you might be wondering what we're doing in this situation. What we're doing is challenging something way above our level grade, because as you can see, we're about level 17-ish. She's level 45. Getting this far was quite the trial. I actually had to look up a guide at some point, but I think I have an idea for how I can do this final round. But we'll see. So let's just have a look at this super boss. So, Great Sword of the Abyss. Immune to passive seal and death blow. Take 50% less poison damage. Guard efficiency plus 50%. Immune to freeze and stun. Ruby pendant, sapphire pendant. At 50% or less HP, she uses Heavens Asunder. Attack all enemies, 30 potency versus flying targets, grant the user 2 PP if a target is stunned. We probably don't have to worry about that as of yet. Because we're not looking to get her health down, we're just looking to deal more damage to her than she does to us. Blitz Rush. Attack a column of enemies with a piercing strike. Grant 1 PP if the target is defeated. Attack a single enemy twice. Because we're not doing anything to mess with her AP, she should be focusing on using Blitz Rush. Judgment. At the end of battle, attack all enemies. True hit rate. Ranged, unguardable, uncoverable. Deal 50%, attack all enemies, ignore 50% of defense, recover HP equal to 100% of damage dealt. Our goal is to make sure she doesn't have any PP left by the end of this. In a balance, remove all debuffs. Make the next attack true strike and guaranteed critical. Again, we want her to be out of PP before she gets a chance to use this. Phantom Kick. Activate after an enemy attacks with an active skill. Attack a row of enemies, inflict stun and passive seal. And open the battle with an attack on all enemies, draining 1 AP and 1 PP. It's ground-based, but it's still not very nice. So, what is my game plan here? Selvi has Sandstorm. Now, technically, this really shouldn't be helping us out here, but it's what she's been doing so far. She has a Thief's Mantle, which gives her evade. She is going to dodge that first hit. Then after her attack, she's going to use Tailwind. Nina is next. She's not even promoted, but she's going to help us win this. So she has more initiative than Travis, and we actually had to do some work to get that to happen. She has 1 evade, which is nice. She's going to avoid that starting attack, and then she's going to use Heavy Smash. Let's set this back to prioritize Armored, but it doesn't matter here. She's going to use Heavy Smash. It's unguardable, and she's going to inflict Binding Guard. That's the second point of her PP, so if she gets Guard Seal, we win. The White Cat Ear Hood takes a lot of grinding to get, but I have it on her because it gives her 1 extra PP and 10 extra initiative, helping her outspeed Travis. And she also has a Thief's Mantle. You only get 2 in the game, though don't feel cocky. So, Travis has a Dragon Bone Blade. This reduces his initiative by 10. Very important. He has a Lapis Pendant to give him extra PP, Lucky Coin, Silk Scarf. On the first turn, he uses Passive Steal. As long as she can't guard, this will drain all of her PP. And with the Nina inflicting Guard Seal, that's the one thing she can't block against. And then he just has his usual nonsense in the background. By all accounts, you should wait until you're about level 55, because then Travis picks up sneaking at level 25. Sorry, not 55. At level 25, he picks up Sneaking Edge, but he also gains his ability to inflict blindness and initiative and an evasion down, which are nice things, but the main point here, Sneaking Edge gives him a guarantee Guard Seal at the start of the fight. The passive seal won't count, but it means it can drain Amalia of her evasion. Of course, all this said, we don't actually know if it's going to work. My blade thirsts for a thrilling battle. Try not to disappoint it.
Is that all? Try!
Ready yourselves!
45 damage isn't too bad.
Perish! Nice try. Just getting started.
And technically, that's a win. Which means that we beat Amalia, and we get her hero's medallion. And 30,000 war funds and 300 Colosseum coins.
Splendid, truly splendid. For years, my steel has sought perfection, and now it knows the bitter torment of defeat. At long last, the consummate blade is upon us. The legions of hell will be next to taste its edge.
Why couldn't you have been that powerful when we get to control you?
Thanks. Feels good to finally move again. Whole body screaming in pain, though. Damned spirit has no respect. But he's gone now, thanks to you. Burning in eternal flames like he deserves.
Would you care to explain? You were almost a different person entirely for a time there.
Not the prettiest story, but sure. He was an ancestor of mine. One of the finest swordsmen in the land in his day.
Still is, by my count.
It all went to his head, though. He searched for years for someone to pass his mastery down to, but nobody could handle it. So, he started spreading his seed instead, hoping someone would bear him a worthy son. But a cruel man makes a cruel father. He put his kids through such brutal training, most of them died in the process. Not that he cared. He kept making heirs to replace the fallen, and tossed aside any woman whose blood was too weak. They say some of those mothers even went mad from the grief.
How horrible.
But those women weren't going down without a fight. Gave their lives to curse the man for the rest of time. Wasn't long before his lungs started failing him, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't sire the son he so badly wanted.
Sounds like he was staring death in the face.
Maybe, but the old bastard wasn't kicking the bucket before he tried one last thing. Some kind of unholy sorcery that let him inhabit the bodies of his descendants, keep perfecting his sword work through their eyes.
A distressing tale indeed.
And now, you put him and his damn curse to rest for good. Don't know how I can ever pay that back, but I'm gonna try. Let me come with you.
Are you certain?
That was the promise, wasn't it? Besides, I already got what I wanted out of this place. Guy as tough as you will have no trouble putting me to work.
We'll more than welcome it, Amalia.
Oh, but there's one little thing I should warn you about.
Which is?
Well, just look at me. Woman my size eats as much as 5 men. I hope that's not a problem.
Sounds like I'll be on double cooking duty then.
Amalia joined the Liberation Army. As champion of Overlord Coliseum, you now have access to further ranked matches. They aren't worth it. Just saying straight out, they aren't worth it. Unless you really need the Coliseum coin because, yeah. Probably could do it if I wanted. I could probably make some distance into there, but the thing is, they only give out about 20. The only different thing you get is up here, the Onyx Pendant. Does anyone actually have it on? No, of course they don't. The Onyx Pendant is basically a combo ruby and sapphire bracelet, which we can probably have a look at right now. Well, I mean, you already know, you saw it in the fight. Ruby Pendant is 2 AP, Sapphire Pendant is 2 PP. The Onyx Pendant gives both, but it has a harsh stat penalty to compensate. Anyway, she is missing some of the cooler attacks that she had in that phase, but oh well. We could probably use her to carry us for most of the game if we wanted to, but honestly, the real reason to do this is to get your hands on the Ruby and Sapphire Pendants and the Hero's Medallion. One AP, 1 PP, physical attack plus. I can't believe I did this at level 17. Like, I have to admit, I did do a little bit of grinding and a whole bunch of missions in order to get a whole bunch of promoted units to do it, but I feel rather accomplished with myself. And heck, maybe I'll just use it to one-shot the boss of each region just to show off. Who knows? Yeah. So, I have no real way to close out this episode, so until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around. Actually, no, one other thing, which I can't show anymore. The one that gave me the most trouble is at 5-6, because there's a whole bunch of sword fighters, which means that your usual team, the usual evasion tanks, won't be able to handle it. That's what I had to use this weird combination with. Virginia as a tank, and because she has a Carnelian pendant, wait, it wasn't the multi-sword master one, it was the, it was one that had a sword fighter and a thief in the front row. So, you have this, I had Virginia at the front to goad the thief into going after her. Fran is designed to take one swing at the enemy. Scarlet, she doesn't have it at the moment, but Scarlet is actually supposed to have the Frostband Conferral. Where is it? Over here, the Frostband Tome. So it gives Ice Conferral. Add magic damage and freeze to an ally's next attack, and I have it set to only target flying units. Rolf uses Eagle Eye and Shadow Arrow to hit the back row Griffin, who's going to be causing a lot of trouble if they get to move. You also have to give him, where is it? Angel Plume. You give him Angel Plume and tell him to tailwind the front row. That helps Fran move before the opponent Griffin Master. And so, you have to do a few resets, but if she lands her axe hit on every enemy in the back row, then it freezes them all solid. And so they won't be able to make any progress. Yeah, the Griffin Master won't be able to attack, and they're the biggest problem. The Witch won't be able to attack. I forget what the fifth one was. No, I remember. It was another sniper, and they're immune to blind, which was the problem. So, yeah, Virginia has to tank all the damage. Scarlet heals people up. Rolf hits a True Strike Shadow Arrow on the enemy Griffin Rider. And then Fran freezes the back row, and Virginia tanks the rest of the damage from the front. This was the only one that I had to actively look up a solution for. All the others I was able to intuit on my own. Mostly I did have to look at some answers. Well, not answers, but I had to look at some hints, but I didn't look up their exact solutions. I think second place was also pretty tough. I had to figure out that Rosalind needs to use Primus Edge to keep buffing up and healing Oakless. While, what was this? I forget who the second step was. I think it was Sylvie again. Using Sandstorm on the first turn to buy us some time. And Oakless told to target the person with the highest initiative until she lands that frost conferral. I probably should have saved before I did all this, but the thing is, I've basically spent an entire day puzzling this out. It's doable, but it's not fun. Anyhow, let's put Amalia in charge of the Colosseum.
Go on, I got this.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyhow, with that puzzle out of the way, until next time, guys, take care, I'll see you all around. This makes absolutely no sense chiming in, but I just want to show this little achievement of mine. Also, there is a post-game boss version of Possessed Amalia. Level 50, even stupider higher stats. If you beat her, then it unlocks 5 more versions of her, but this time all of them with super high stat enemies and 6 units instead of 5. I have not beaten that. I wouldn't even know how to start.